Hi, I'm Megan Curry of Megan Curry Life Coach, and I wanted to talk to you this week about perfection. I had a little run-in with it earlier today, so I just wanted to tell you about it and basically what the side effects are of trying to be perfect. So, earlier today, I was outside watering the flowers, and I noticed that I started feeling very kind of jittery and just the symptoms of stress. So I felt jittery in my body, mental heaviness, like my brain actually felt very, very heavy, like so many thoughts racing around. I felt just scattered. I couldn't think straight. Like I just had so many things like, oh, I have to do this, I have to do this. I want to go for a run. I'm going to coach someone later today. And then I realized when I thought of coaching someone later on in the day, I realized that I was putting a lot of pressure on myself to have a perfect coaching session. So I was already thinking and worrying about the future. I was already worrying about, saying the perfect thing at the right time, giving them the exact tools that they would need, even though it's like I have no idea what we're going to talk about. I have no idea what this client is going to bring up. But I needed to know beforehand that I was going to do the perfect coaching session with the perfect tools, saying the exact right thing, and the client would just be like, oh my goodness, you are the best coach ever. So I noticed myself worrying about this, and I felt, right when I started thinking about the coaching session, I felt an increased amount of stress in my body. So I realized, like, isn't this interesting that I'm putting so much pressure on myself for being or for doing, the perfect thing at the right moment in the future. But I didn't even know what was going to happen. I didn't know what we were going to talk about, but I'm worrying about what's going to happen. And so it's interesting when you put pressure on yourself to be perfect, or any kind of pressure, but when you're putting that pressure on yourself for some sort of outcome that's in the future, so it's like you can't do anything about it at this moment. It actually is it affects your body. Like it'll increase your fight or flight response, so you're going to have an increased heart rate. Your immune system's going to be decreased. You can't think straight. You are basically, everything's compromised in your body because all that your body is doing is basically sending blood to your arms and legs because it's preparing for attack or preparing for you to get out of the stressful situation. But this isn't really a situation that you can escape from. You're just worrying about the future. So it's a fake fear. So putting pressure on yourself to be perfect is bad for your health, and it can create chronic pain if you do it over and over and over without catching yourself. So what I did was I caught myself. I was like, wow, well, there's really nothing I can do but water these flowers right now because that's exactly what I'm doing. And I'm going to be coaching in a half an hour, and then I can, think about what I want to say in that moment when I will know what I want to say because I'll know what we're talking about. So what I did was I brought myself out of my head and I brought myself back into my body. And I focused on exactly what I was doing at that time. Watering the flowers, filling the can with water, being in my body, enjoying the sun, enjoying what I was doing in that moment. And I was breathing while I was doing this because generally when we're, stressed out and in fight or flight, we don't fully breathe. So I focused on breathing and being in my body and just being in the present moment. And I, noticed my stress levels had drastically reduced. And I was kind of thinking, whatever's going to happen during the coaching session is whatever is supposed to happen. Maybe the client doesn't get a big aha, but that's okay. And I will, when you're in your body and you're in the present moment, you make, you're just more creative and you can make better decisions on the spot. So if I went into that coaching session feeling all flighty and worried that I wasn't going to be good, I probably wouldn't be good because I would be so busy being up in my head worrying that I would not even know what the client was telling me. I wouldn't even know what we'd be talking about. I'd get lost and it would be an awful coaching session. So what I did was I brought myself back to my body, got into the moment. Before the session, well, whatever's going to happen is perfect. And I will deal with things as they come because that's kind of the way that, that's the most stress-free way we can live life, is dealing things as they come and not worrying about what could happen. So that was a little bit of a snippet into my life about, worrying about being a perfect coach. And I mean, I go through this stuff all the time, and I have to do just as much work on myself as you have to do on yourself. So I just wanted to share this with you, and how the trying to be perfect is not good for your health. And what you can do is become aware of it and just turn it around a bit and just notice exactly what's going on. So thanks for listening, and I'd love for you to comment on this if you have found yourself in a similar situation. And thanks for visiting, and we'll talk to you next week. Bye.